Welcome to A Beginner's Guide to Coffee Tasting and Cupping. In this series, we'll take you through the wonderful world of coffee tasting and cupping. In Part 1, we'll start with the basics and introduce you to the techniques and tools involved in tasting and cupping coffee. Whether you're a coffee lover, a barista, or simply curious about coffee, this series is perfect for anyone looking to expand their coffee knowledge and skills. So grab your favorite mug, and let's dive in. Coffee tasting and cupping is a process used to evaluate the quality and flavor profile of different coffees. It involves a series of steps that allow the taster to examine the aroma, taste, and aftertaste of the coffee. This process is essential for coffee professionals, such as roasters, baristas, and buyers, to determine the quality of a coffee before purchasing it. The first step in coffee tasting and cupping is to prepare the coffee. This involves grinding the coffee beans and then boiling water. The grounds are then placed in a cup or bowl and hot water is poured over them. The coffee is then allowed to steep for several minutes before being evaluated. Here's a guide to grinding coffee beans and boiling water for coffee. 1. Choose the right grind size for your coffee brewing method. For French press, use a coarse grind. For drip coffee, use a medium grind. For espresso, use a fine grind. 2. Measure the amount of coffee beans you need for your brew. A good rule of thumb is to use 1 to 2 tablespoons of coffee per 6 ounces of water. 3. Grind the coffee beans using a burr grinder, which provides a consistent grind size. Use a timer to ensure that you grind the coffee for the appropriate length of time. 4. Boil water to the appropriate temperature for your brew. For most coffee brewing methods, water should be between 195 degrees Fahrenheit and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, bring the water to a boil and let it sit for 30 seconds to cool slightly. 5. If you are using a French press, add the ground coffee to the carafe and pour the hot water over the grounds. Let it steep for 4 minutes, then press down the plunger to separate the coffee from the grounds. 6. For drip coffee, place a filter in the coffee maker and add the ground coffee. Pour the hot water over the grounds and let it drip through the filter. 7. For espresso, use an espresso machine to extract the coffee. Fill the portafilter with the ground coffee and tamp it down. Run hot water through the machine and serve the espresso in a shot glass. Next, the taster will examine the aroma of the coffee. This involves taking deep breaths over the surface of the coffee to detect any off odors or defects. The taster will then evaluate the taste of the coffee by slurping a spoonful of it into their mouth. This allows the coffee to spread over the tongue, and the taster can detect different flavors and sensations. Here's a quick guide to examining the aroma of coffee. 1. Smell the dry coffee beans. Before brewing your coffee, take a moment to smell the dry beans. This will give you an idea of the coffee's overall aroma. 2. Smell the brewed coffee. After brewing, take a deep sniff of the coffee's aroma. Pay attention to the notes and nuances you smell. 3. Identify the aroma. Try to identify specific aromas, such as floral, fruity, nutty, or earthy notes. You can also note if the aroma is strong or mild, pleasant or unpleasant. 4. Take your time. Allow the aroma to linger and develop. Smell the coffee again as it cools to see if any new notes become apparent. 5. Use a coffee aroma wheel. A coffee aroma wheel can help you identify specific aromas in your coffee. These wheels can be found online and can be a useful tool for coffee tasters and enthusiasts. Remember, aroma plays a significant role in the overall coffee tasting experience, so take your time and savor the experience. Before we continue, we hope you are enjoying this video about coffee tasting and cupping. If you found this video informative and engaging, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Caffeine Buzz. We're dedicated to bringing you the best and most interesting content about coffee and everything related to it. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode and be the first to know when we post new videos. Your support helps us to keep creating great content, so hit that like and subscribe button now. Finally, the taster will evaluate the aftertaste of the coffee. This involves considering the lingering flavors and sensations that remain in the mouth after the coffee has been swallowed. The taster will then make a final evaluation of the coffee based on the aroma, taste, and aftertaste. When it comes to coffee tasting and cupping, considering the lingering flavors and sensations in your mouth is an important step. After you have taken a sip of coffee, hold it in your mouth for a few seconds and let it coat your tongue. Then, swallow the coffee and pay attention to any flavors or sensations that remain. The aftertaste of the coffee can give you a lot of information about its quality, such as the balance of acidity and bitterness, the intensity of the flavor, and the complexity of the coffee's flavor profile. Take note of any flavors that remain, such as fruity or floral notes, chocolate or nutty undertones, or a smoky or earthy finish. Another important factor to consider is the mouthfeel or texture of the coffee. Does it feel light and smooth or heavy and oily? Does it leave a dry feeling in your mouth or a coating of creaminess? Paying attention to these details can help you better appreciate the coffee and become more skilled at identifying its unique characteristics. Overall, coffee tasting and cupping is a critical step in evaluating the quality of coffee. By following this process, coffee professionals can ensure that they are purchasing high-quality coffee that will deliver a great taste experience to their customers. Thanks for watching A Beginner's Guide to Coffee Tasting and Cupping Part 1. Introduction to Coffee Tasting and Cupping. We hope you learned a lot about the basics of coffee tasting and cupping. In the next episode, we will dive deeper into understanding coffee aroma and flavor profiles, so be sure to tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more coffee-related content. See you in the next episode.